of time. Where are they now? All the ghosts from your past, lost in dreams of a time long gone by.
Rather unseasonal for a fire, I would have thought.
I quite agree.
Then why?
Let's just say my young ward's bridges are well and truly burnt. I really don't see that my plans for my ward's future are any concern of yours.
I'm sorry if my curiosity offends.
Freed.
It was merely the inquiry of an avid student of modern history.
Your interest is gratifying but misplaced. I suggest we restrict our discussion to matters concerning our little arrangement.
As you wish.
Leave the door, Colonel. It's infernally smoky in here.
Aye, sir.
So, contrary to your earlier remarks, you can now see the benefits of retaining my services?
Perhaps I was a little hasty.
Anyway, my interest in the position has also waned somewhat. I'll take my leave.
Wait, Mr. Friend, I'm sure I can make our continued collaboration worth your while. I apologize, my dear fellow, if I offended you.
Not at all, sir.
Let's sit down and discuss this like gentlemen.
You're too kind, sir. I shall, of course, be happy to return your drum of...
Cooking oil.
Cooking oil. Quite. And if I could be of service in any other way...
You could ensure that the Iredale children and their meddlesome friend are kept occupied.
Of course.
I wouldn't wish a repeat of last evening's interference.
It would be my pleasure, Sir Ivor.
Can I help you, sir? It is a little bit rusty, isn't it? Well?
Well, what?
Out! Haven't you forgotten something?
Sorry?
Your basket.
Oh, right. Stupid.
Very stupid. A stupid little girl. It's always the same with you laundry people. Perhaps I ought to give you a clip around here.
You won't touch her. I will not have you talking to servants in this way.
Yes, Your Imperial.
You may go.
I'm terribly sorry, Your Imperial Highness. Sir Ivor's orders. You're not to leave this house.
I came downstairs for a glass of milk. Kindly fetch it for me.
Yes, Your Imperial Highness.
Don't go telling Mrs. Whitelaw. That's her prize-winning plum jam. Only for special occasions. But I thought you needed some cheering up.
Thank you. Arnie, what would you say if I told you I knew for a fact Papa was going to get better?
I'd believe you.
Could you come upstairs, please, Arnie, and bring some fresh linen for Mr. Iredale's bed? I'm pleased to see you're eating something.
Where have you been? I was worried.
I'm okay. Did you find out about your dad?
He's going to be all right.
Excellent.
Did you find out where the drums are?
Not exactly. But I do know that the one that I took as evidence is the one that ends up down the well.
How do you know?
Tell you later. Is that Mrs. Whitelaw bag around?
No, she's gone down to the market.
Good. We have to hide something. Sir Ivor's dirty washing.
What?
We need somewhere to stash it.
Jo, you've got a lot of explaining to do. Oh, and I have a message for you.
From Tama.
Your father.
Dad? Oh, no. Did you meet him?
Yes, he knows everything. He wants you to go straight home. Forever.
Well, I can't. I haven't done what I came here for. What about Mia and Jessie?
He's not worried about them. He's more worried about you.
Aha.
What?
It's a list of compounds they think might neutralise the sludge in the drum. It's been narrowed down
Great.
to 16.
16? How come they haven't got closer than that by now?
Research takes time.
Mia and Jessie don't have time. What if it's weeks or months? It'll be too late.
We just have to hope it isn't.
It's imperative that you follow these instructions to the letter. Do you understand? At the precise time. No sooner, no later.
Why? What's it matter?
Much depends on it. More than you can imagine.
I guess it must be a bit of a surprise, seeing me here.
Yes, it is. Given what's happened.
This is really hard. What I wanted to say was... Well, I just wanted to tell you what I told everyone, how it happened. The drum getting smashed open. It wasn't Jo who threw the crowbar thing. I mean...
So who was it?
We were all kind of messing around, and it fell. It wasn't really anyone's fault.
But you felt that Jo should take the blame anyway. Oh, well. Better to own up late than not at all, I suppose.
Can I see Jo? I bought her something to kind of say sorry. I wouldn't blame her if she stamped all over it, but I thought I had to do something.
Actually, I haven't seen too much of Jo lately. She could still be at Alex's, I'm not sure.
Can I put it up in her room then? As a surprise?
If you like. Oh, and Jade,
Yes?
you will fill your mother in on all of this, won't you? It would make life a whole lot easier.
Of course.
What are you doing here?
I came to see Jo.
What?
She's not home.
I noticed.
Well, how'd you get in? Crawl under the door?
Your mum let me in.
Tell us, Jade, why would Jo want to see you?
Yeah, go visit some other poor sucker.
I don't have to hang around here to be insulted by you.
Good.
See ya. Is it okay?
Yeah, but we're gonna have to watch it around the clock from now on. She's up to something.
So tell me, what did you think of the future?
I was quite frightened at first. So much noise, so many people. Tama told me about the different coloured lights, traffic signals, and they tell cars when to stop and go. Do you know him very well?
Yeah, I guess.
He's interesting. He told me about computers and how they can do everything. Oh, and aeroplanes, so loud. I'd love to learn to fly.
I find all that technical stuff boring.
Nothing could be worse than Frid's stupid Latin grammar. The way Tama explained it.
You fancy him, don't you?
Of course not.
Sure.
Anyway, what's the point in liking someone you're never going to see again? We'd better look for the drum.
Right. Can't sit around talking about your boyfriend all day.
Jo.
Sorry. Where do we start?
We could ask the neighbours if anyone saw a handsome cab going past at the time it disappeared. Maybe someone saw who was in it.
Okay, let's go.
Ah, there you are.
Excuse us, we were just going out.
Isn't it time for your afternoon lesson?
Mama said we were to be excused lessons today.
I think not. Not the entire day. That would be indolent.
But we've...
No buts, Miss Louisa. You will be joining us.
Gee, thanks, but I've got something else on.
While you are a guest in this house, I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Iredale would be comforted to know that all their charges are being gainfully and studiously occupied. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire.
Oh, fantastic.
I beg your pardon. I would like you to compose a 500-word essay.
500?
A 500-word analysis, perhaps I should say, of this vast and complex subject. It will include a list of the emperors and consuls, the dates of their reigns, and a précis of the progress of Roman expansionism in the last century BC and the early centuries AD. I also require a map showing the empire at its zenith.
It's what?
Peak.
I think that should keep you usefully employed.
May Louisa and I fetch our books now, Mr. Fred?
No. If you've been paying attention in previous lessons, I'm sure your memories will suffice. And if I detect the slightest hint of plagiarism in your work, I shall get you to copy out the entire text as punishment. Is that clear? Yes, Mr. Fred?
Yes, Mr. Fred.
Right. I'll leave you to get on with it then. Oh, and don't make the mistake of thinking I'll be far away.
Sorry.
What a sadist.
We'll just have to finish our essays and then look for the drum.
500 words?
You do the map. I'll try and remember the rest.
You don't have to remember anything. Just copy it out of the textbook.
We can't. You heard what he said. No plagiarism.
What?
No copying. He'll check up.
Maybe. Maybe not.
What are you doing? Shh. Where are you going?
I won't be long.
What are you doing here?
You were told to follow the instructions precisely as written, Jade.
So?
So why didn't you wait until the appointed time?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know your every thought and action.
No, you don't.
Don't I? I know you went to Jo's house. I know you lied outrageously to her mother. I know you crept up to Jo's room and contemplated removing the mirror, and would have done if Tama and Royce hadn't interrupted. You almost destroyed everything with your sickening self-interest. It won't be tolerated.
But...
No, listen to me. In future, you will do exactly as I tell you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Bingo.
What is it?
An encyclopedia.
It doesn't look like one.
Well, they do really good stuff in them these days. They're even better on computer.
What's that?
A space shuttle. It's like a big rocket. Goes into space. You know, above the world, sort of. It's too hard to explain.
Look at that, Louisa.
That's what they first went to the moon in.
The moon? In that?
Mm-hmm. It was before I was born. My dad saw it on TV. They don't do it much anymore. They're concentrating on space shuttles. Don't worry about it. This is what I brought it for.
The Roman Empire!
I don't think Frid's going to recognise any of this lot, do you?
Leave it, Bullseye. Leave it. Good boy, Bullseye. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. It's all right, Mr. Frid. Go ahead. Sir Ivor's waiting for you. Come on, Bullseye. Time for dinner. Come on, boy. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Come on.
Rather an intimidating fixture, isn't it? Especially for a drum of
Cooking oil.
I see we understand each other. And to formalise the transaction, an aperitif, perhaps?
May I inquire what you intend to do with the drum now that it is back in your possession?
Banish it to my cellar until I can arrange a more discreet form of transportation.
Fino.
Amontillado. I trust you dealt with the Iredale children and that tiresome friend of theirs?
Oh, yes. They're well occupied, charting the rise and fall of the Roman Empire.
Does it matter if I draw on it?
It's an emergency. How are you going?
Nearly finished.
What do you think?
Great.
Mr. Frid's going to be awfully pleased.
What if he suspects we cheated?
Who cares? We've done what he asked us to.
And he didn't say we couldn't use your books.
Exactly. You finished?
All done.
Let's go find ferret features and show him how clever we are.
Louisa. Louisa. Jo.
To Crazy Joe? Oh, my love, Dad. What's this?
And you can put this little lot in the pantry. Oh, and this.
Hi.
And where do you think you're going in such a hurry?
I was looking for Mr. Frid.
Ma'am?
Ma'am?
Well, unless he's hiding in my pantry, he doesn't appear to be here, does he?
No, I guess not.
You guess.
It's an expression.
I've warned you before, Miss Know-it-all. I don't take cheek from children, especially grubby little strangers what run inside the house.
Any luck?
Miss Louisa, you know your mother will not have you running indoors.
Have you seen Mr. Fred, Mrs. Whitelaw?
No, I haven't. I've only this minute got back.
You'll have to wait. What a drag.
I beg your pardon?
I said it's sad that we can't find Mr. Fred.
Well, while he's gone, perhaps Miss Louisa might like to teach you something. Like manners and bearing for a start.
Like manners and bearing. Should have told her to get stuff. Oh no.
What?
The encyclopedia, we left it out. Nicholas,
how'd you get here?
Is this book yours?
Well,
Is it?
yes. You don't have to get so worked up about it.
Is it reputable?
Yeah, it's an encyclopedia. Why? What's wrong? What's the matter?
Oh, no.
What?
Look.
Nicholas, that's you. What are you doing in an encyclopedia?
Read what it says underneath.
The Russian imperial family assassinated at Ekaterinburg, July 6, 1918. Assassinated. Nick, is that really you? Are you a prince or something?
I am the Tsar. Now. He told me they were all safe. But they're dead. My mother, my father, my sisters. They've all gone. Forever.
This program was made with the help of your broadcasting fee, so you can see more of New Zealand on air.